The Aula F75 is the best deal you can get right now on a mechanical keyboard. Is what everyone said to me before I picked up the Aula F75. Now, I am by no means a keyboard junkie or a mechanical keyboard connoisseur, and I was really sad when my RK68 of 3.5 years just suddenly stopped working on me. Well, I started getting phantom key presses, and I think it has something to do with corrosion. And I still might get this fixed, but I needed a replacement keyboard ASAP. Everyone in my Telegram group said that the Aula F75 or the Leoborg 75% keyboard was the best deal that you could get, and I got this keyboard for a crazy good deal. This keyboard cost me less than $50 here in Vietnam, and I got it with the Leoborg Green Reaper switches. Now, I've got some notes on the Aula F75, and I've been using it now for more than 2 months, and I think I have a good idea of the quality, the craftsmanship, and the overall build. But first, you guys need to know what makes this keyboard so special. And that is in its construction. Now, the headline feature that tons of people will talk about in regards to this keyboard is the 5 layers of dampening material between the PCB and like the mounting plates of it. This gives the keys a kind of softer key press when you press on them, and they kind of avoid the clickety-clackety sound, and they have a much more linear feel. In fact, these keys, the Leoborg Reaper Greens, are linear keys, and I'll talk a little bit about why I'm not sure these keys are the right ones for me, although they might be the right keys for you. Along with that 5 layers of dampening, we have 75% keyboard that is usable over 2.4 Bluetooth or USB Type-C, a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, 1,000 hertz polling, hot swappable keys, and key rollover so the keyboard can essentially respond to your inputs faster, keycaps that use the MX style connector, so if you want to change the keycaps out on this, it should be really easy. And finally, it has a volume rocker knob or a volume knob on the top of the keyboard, along with south side facing RGB lights. Some of you, this stuff might mean a lot. Some of you, this might mean nothing. What you need to know is that this keyboard offers a very, very soft feel that has a very satisfying key press. These Green Reaper switches by Leoborg are a 45 gram initial press down or initial key press that then gets to a 55 gram towards the bottom of the keystroke. The keyboard comes pre-lubricated for all of the hinges, all of the stanchions, all of the supports for the keycaps come pre-lubricated, and I believe the actual switches themselves come pre-lubricated as well. Again, I'm not a keyboard connoisseur, but this is a very nice, very tactile, very pleasurable experience. It's so nice that my friend picked one of these up after he tried mine. And I do think that depending upon the price that you're getting this at, it can be a crazy good value. But what does this mean if you are not a keyboard junkie or a keyboard connoisseur? Is this keyboard just a great keyboard for people that want a quality item with a good typing experience that works on both Mac and PC? And the answer is yes. If you like linear switches, meaning switches that don't have a definite kind of key actuation, the same way this RK68 keyboard does, this keyboard is perfect for you because the key press is really, really light. The travel on it is great. The sound that it makes is really, really kind of soothing as opposed to the kind of obnoxious clickety-clack sound that you might be used to on other mechanical keyboards. And after almost 2 months of use, I've had to charge it once, meaning this keyboard at low brightness settings with RGB on the whole time is a once a month charging keyboard. I love it. I love the fact that I can use my dongle to go between my mini PC and my Mac. The only thing that is a little bit of a downer is that if you are on Mac, you don't have access to any of the reprogrammable stuff that you do on Windows. The application from Aula is only available to Windows users. That's kind of expected though, because people in the Mac space generally were not as nerdy as I am. But needless to say, if you're looking for any kind of customizability with macros, with backlighting, with key remapping, you're going to need a Windows PC to do that. Now, whether or not this keyboard is right for you really depends on the type of keyboard interaction or keyboard feel that you like. Unfortunately for me, I have some severe nerve damage in my right hand, and the light key press of this keyboard means that sometimes I cannot feel when my most right two fingers are actuating it because I barely have any feeling in my ring finger or my pinky finger. I wish I had known what linear switches were before I got this and gotten it with tactile switches, but new switches for it are really, really inexpensive, and you can get new switches for like 20 bucks at most places. I preferred just my overall typing experience on my RK68, although my wife much prefers the sound of the Aula F75. I really like the volume knob on the top, and I think that's really, really convenient. I also really enjoy the fact that we have a full row of F keys, function 1, function 2. This is just something that's part of a 75% keyboard, which is why it's the Aula F75 for all you non-keyboard nerds. And if you are not a keyboard nerd and you're just looking for a high quality keyboard where you could possibly change the switches to suit your liking or customize it for some kind of better typing experience that more fits what you're looking for, this is an awesome option. The fact that it's somewhat user customizable with keycaps and switches, the switches are all hot swappable, means that even if you do have some kind of accident or it gets broken, it's very likely that you could just replace a couple keys and keycaps. If you wanted to get custom keycaps of a different color, different texture, different pattern, you could totally do that. The MX style keycaps are very, very common and kind of a universal type of keycap. Another thing that I really want to touch on is the overall design of this. Now, the bottom of this feels really, really heavy duty. It's because it's metal. You have 4 different pads on the bottom to go ahead and make sure it doesn't slip around. And you have 2 different feet that can be set up at different heights depending upon how much like finger up angle you prefer. I normally just leave them down because I find it to be kind of the most ergonomic and easiest on my wrists. As I've said, I have some damage in this arm, and so I find this keyboard to be quite comfortable, although I may change out the switches later. If you want to pick one of these keyboards up, whether it be the RK68, which I used prior to this and I still absolutely love, or the Aula F75, I'll have links to where you can do that in the comment section and the description down below. More likely than not, you're gonna get a much better deal on this on AliExpress than you are on Amazon, and highly unlikely that you're gonna be able to get this for the price which I paid for it here in Vietnam. That's just one of the benefits I have to living next to China. I get a ton of the cool, high quality Chinese products for a fraction of the price that you guys do in the United States without having to deal with all of the China political stuff, to put it that way. I hope you guys like this simple, non-nerdy keyboard kind of dive into the world of mechanical keyboards. And if you guys are huge mechanical keyboard nerds, I'm sorry that I am not. And if you have any questions or you guys want to talk about this in my Telegram group, comment, and I will personally try to get links to my Telegram group over to you. Peace.